We are back. What is up, you guys? It's your boy Rob, Hello Evers, back again to continue our stream of Triangle Strategy. Last time on, Glory shall find you. For you, my heart. We did a lot of character stuff. Ah, yes. We were able to stop General Avlora from escaping with Princess Cordelia, not realizing that they bonded and had a cute little friendship. Believing us to be manipulators who were going to use Princess Cordelia, even though she was one of us, believing us to be Wolfwart who murdered Roland. Roland revealed himself. She still didn't trust Roland. When Roland tried to kill Avlora, he accidentally stabbed his own sister, who threw herself as a meat shield. Cordelia's life was saved by Lila, Exarm, and Camcella left. Milo stayed. Sereno is torn between his duty as Lord and Saint, and Gustadolf is a sociopath. We are returning now to begin Chapter 15, A Banner's Worth. After retaking Whiteham Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of Glenbrook
Yet
sweeps.
not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
A Banner's Worth. And again, I don't know why they didn't suspect a puppet regime of Cordelia under Frosty rule.
There you are, Your Majesty.
We're gonna rewatch this, yeah.
Hewitt.
Pray, do not sound so dismal. Now that we have retaken Whitehome Castle, you are Glenbrook's rightful king. We've an entire kingdom to rebuild out of the ruins of war.
Mm-hmm.
Patriot and the others have been demanding utmost haste.
I understand that, I do. But... oh, Cordelia. If I should lose you too, I
know you have suffered many hardships, but pray, do not let yourself succumb to despair. Me, our comrades, your people, all of us are eagerly awaiting the era of peace our new king will bring.
King, eh? My father never once let his emotions overcome him. Not even the day my mother died.
But that doesn't mean he didn't have emotions.
Of following his stoic example, but...
Cordelia wants to talk to you in the garden. That's what this was. We did watch
Majesty,
this, but...
I bring word from the infirmary.
Is it Cordelia? Pray tell me she is all right.
She is indeed recovering apace, Your Majesty.
Oh, thank the stars.
It seems she has something to discuss with you all.
Of course. Tell her we'll speak in the garden.
Yes, sire.
Hewitt.
Nope.
What is it?
It's only... I thought it would be some time yet before I saw you look so at ease. I'll return shortly with the others.
Cordelia, you've returned to me after so long, but slow and steady is the path to recovery.
Okay. Then there was the garden scene. ... Then there was the scene of them all walking
So that
around.
is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Esperos in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly.
Yeah.
Without interrupting the people's
Don't
lives.
think he would care for it.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hyzant next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific, but the goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. He said it will all be over once the death snell is ready.
Yep.
What is this death snell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Valis claimed
Giant
it is
cannon.
powerful enough to break through the goddess's shield.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
Ah, so much for their reign of peace.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and...
Thank you,
Gotcha.
Sarah Noah. But since you...
Yep. And then
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries
definitely
are still
not
healing.
suspicious patriot.
Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now.
All right.
Okay.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzant. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's return. Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
Hey guys, do
I
whatever
wager
you want.
folks
I'm
ain't
taking
too
over, but
pleased
you
to
guys do
see
whatever
us
you
since
want,
they
and no
figure
one
it
has to
means
pay
things will go
taxes
back to
anymore.
how
You're
they
great.
used
It's
to
fine.
be.
Don't worry about what's going on in the castle.
Roland
It's fine.
surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriot, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Speaking of,
Distinguished members of House Wolford. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great
Yep.
honor, visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks. We are so grateful for House Wolford's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
because Patriot didn't. Patriot immediately.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost, but the people have had their fill of war. And I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do.
Indeed. Let
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
All right, and that is where we left off. But I did do a bit of grinding, so that is where. And we return here. Again, I did the same stuff I do every time I bought a whole bunch of stuff. Not everything, but a lot. Did a bunch of these, like, upgraded every weapon rank that I could. Lionel, Nicoletta, Jens, Corentin, yep. So all these guys are level 3. They're level 3 weapons. And a bunch of them have new abilities here. There were several things I was missing. And a promotion. I decided I was going to promote Eridor. I think that was the decision I made. Or was it Anna? I think I was going to do Eridor because the sheer volume of stats he gets for being promoted here is insane.
Haha! Ain't no way I'd lose.
And on top of that, with his desperate defense, when his HP is passed below half, he becomes an even better tank. Alright, so when I started this chapter, I had 15 character stories available. I now have 20. I now have every single side character. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's mix it up. Let's start with Medina. Let's work our way up. I haven't been keeping track of my numbers again. I've been keeping track of the amount of times every character I've used.
Thank you for journeying all this way to assist us, Medina. I fear the heals in this region are otherwise occupied today. You have my apologies.
No need to apologize. You may call on me whenever you're in need.
I have 2 wounded here. One of our own, and an Frosty.
The cause of all our strife in the flesh. Treating the enemy first! Have you lost your mind?
His wound is far more grievous. We must tend to him or he will die.
What fealty have we to those who robbed us of our king? Who would drive us to ruin?
We may have no fealty to his nation, but we have a duty to him, as a man whose life depends on us. Leave your talk of allies and enemies on the battlefield. It has no purchase in a place of medicine. So long as I practice the healing arts, it is my duty to save them both.
Throw a potion at him. Potion.
They should be able to get some rest now.
That was incredible, Medina. I am sorry for what I said earlier.
But she got a chance to make up for...
All is forgiven. At one time, I would not have challenged you.
Would that I had your courage.
You can. Simply keep your desire to help those in need first and foremost in your mind. The rest is sure to follow.
Triage medicine, right? Start with the most severe. That's cool. So it looks like it's a little cap on Medina's story. Julio. Or Julio.
Lord Serenoa, may I speak with you?
About that noblewoman, yes? Eridor's told me what happened.
Forgive me. I know that I should have waited for your orders before acting. But I could not leave that woman to her devices.
So this is Julio's third as well.
The longer the war goes on, the more the people suffer. I imagine their feelings toward their rulers must be souring.
In spite of this, that woman tried to use your name to wrest their food away. Had we let her go free, people would have thought she was acting on your orders, and their mistrust of you would have only grown. I believed we had to show them that soldiers stand for justice, and acted. I accept whatever punishment you deem fit.
There will be no punishment, for you have committed no wrong.
Yeah, you helped the people.
My lord.
Anna looked into her. It seems that woman's ill repute dates back to her days in Glenbrook. Likely, she thought to obfuscate her misdeeds in the Crown City by hiding within my troops. But she wasn't able to conceal her true self in the end. I suppose she thought to earn my favor with the stolen food. Unfortunately for her, she misjudged my principles.
Lord Serenoa.
Forgive me for my oversight in this matter. I shall take all necessary precautions to ensure nothing like it happens again.
So, you aren't upset with me for throwing a noble woman in jail?
Had I been in your position, I would have done the very same. For her misdeeds in Glenbrook and the crime you caught her committing, I shall order her banished at once. She will never again be welcome in the Wolfort domain. Let it serve as a deterrent to any others who would prey upon the common people.
Good.
It is rare that I meet someone so committed to holding those of high birth accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
I hope you will continue to do so. House Wolfort must be a house the people can trust.
Of course, my lord. You have my word. I knew I made the right choice. Unlike Patriot, Lord Serenoa is a man worth serving. Yes, I finally found where I am meant to be. I cannot rest on my laurels. Yes, I must serve my new lord as best I can.
A very good assistant. That's literally what he is. He's an assistant with a scimitar. He's... let's do... Narv next. Narv's intro we did, him explaining his grandfather, this should be the third one for him as well.
Damn it all. At this rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen.
Hey there, are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand.
You're standing right now. Don't lie to me.
I'll fix you right up. So dry those tears.
Really?
Yup. The pain will disappear like magic.
Wow! It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, sir. Grandma, look! My leg's all better.
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing. ...
Those robes. You wouldn't happen to be a student of the Archmage
The older generation remembers Grandante.
You know my grandfather?
Oh, of course I do. What a great man he was. Always using his magic to help those in need, much like you.
He might have been removed from the archives and the Hyzanti tomes, but the people still remember.
I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns. Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. ...
Even though Grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records,
there you go.
His memory lives on in the people he helped.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do.
And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells.
Good boy, Narf. Narf's a good boy.
Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
Alright, that was a sweet one. So I think we're seeing the cap on every one of these stories now. Fenny. Are we going to learn more about the flower for Benedict? That he was searching for a flower?
All right, lads and lasses, lay down your arms. Let your bruises remind you of the lessons learned today.
Ah, what fortuitous timing. I still owe you for the drinks from the other evening. I wondered if I might treat you tonight.
Apologies, lass, but I've got places to be. Perhaps another time.
Eredor turning down drinks? Yeah.
He seemed troubled by something.
I like how inextricably linked Benedict and Eredor's stories are. They're old buds.
Let us end our day's work here.
It is early, is it not?
No, nothing at all. Just my attention is required elsewhere for a time.
Elsewhere? Curious.
Follow him, Anna. Spy.
How many have you had?
Not enough. Just one for you, I take it.
Yes.
Went by in a flash. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
The time has escaped us. The memory of that day, however, I doubt ever will.
Okay. 30 years ago, during the Salt Iron War.
Thrice damned, can't move. Always thought I'd meet my end with a beautiful lass by my side.
You have many days ahead of you yet, Eredor. We will see you returned home.
Don't try to run, you curs!
Leave me be. I'll just slow you down. It was my cursed pride that got us into this. Only I should suffer for it. We don't all need to die today. Run!
Even in the face of death, you refuse to set aside your foolish pride. I followed you into this hell of my own will, and I will see you delivered from it.
You fool!
Charge!
Come and die.
All right.
That would have been it for us, had Lord Simon not met their charge in time.
Aye, and the only punishment for my pride were these aches that keep me awake at night.
We hungered for glory all those years ago, without a care for how it would serve us later on.
Ooh, I like
a couple
that.
of would-be heroes who couldn't be convinced they weren't invincible.
Yet here we are, drinking, to celebrate the end of that war. I do not wish to reminisce upon the past. A toast that I may never again repeat the mistakes of my youth. But before that...
Yeah?
You have served House Wolford well, Eredor. That said, I have a feeling we'll need your sturdy shield even more going forward.
You need me to lead a charge? I'm your man. I'll leave anything fancier than that to you. For House Wolford!
for House Wolford.
Clink. Wolford. So Benedict's story was more about Eredor. Let's check out Eredor's story.
Made it in time, my lord.
Eredor, you came.
Lady Destra. Your mother was loved by one and all, my lord. Honoring her this day is the least we can do. Is it just you here, my lord?
We are beset on all sides by tasks large and small. I would not impose my familial obligations on the others.
Spoken like a true leader. Me and your mother may not have been family by blood, but duty bound us just as close.
I am sure she would have been overjoyed to see you by my side. I never had a chance to know her. My only memories are from stories others told me. And still, I somehow can feel the warmth of her embrace, hear the loving sound of her voice.
She was smitten, that is true. She held on to you so tightly, I reckon not even the Dawn Spear could have pried you from her.
Did she?
Lady Destra's smile was brighter than the sun, and near as constant. She treated young Benedict and I like little brothers, though at times we weren't so deserving of her care. Even so, she always had a kind word, and worry enough to spare. There weren't a woman like her in all of Narzelia.
I did not know the bond between you three ran so deep. Benedict never mentioned it.
His lips aren't as loose as mine, especially when it comes to Lady Destra. Speaking of which, here. Your mother would have loved to get one of these from you.
Is it the flower?
A snowbell? My father mentioned her fondness for these flowers. Every year when I visited her, without fail, one of these would be placed in front of her grave. Was that you all this time?
Well, not exactly, my lord.
They're quite rare, are they not? I often search for them, but I have yet to see one in bloom. Where did you find it?
Well, I made a journey down south. Benedict insisted. Apologies for my absence, my lord.
There's naught to apologize for.
Yeah, I find that great. They're so tied together that
somehow
the Eredor story is...
I can feel Mother smiling down upon us.
More than I deserve, if I'm being honest.
I love it.
Huh. There's already a snowbell. Who could have...
Should have known. Nothing will stop him from his duty.
What was that?
It was nothing, my lord. Seems we're not the only ones carrying a torch for Lady Destra.
Indeed. We are fortunate to be part of such a close-knit house. And that is thanks to those who serve it. I trust I'll see you here again in a year's time, Eredor.
Of course, my lord. Snowbells might capture a moment in time, but your mother inspired loyalty for an eternity.
Gotcha.
Under this tree.
This here's the land of the Jax clan. Or used to be, more like. That clasp on your chest, that's their sigil. If I'm not mistaken.
It's a memento from my parents. Or so I was told.
Is Anna a...
Aye. Now that I'm looking for it, I can see the resemblance. Same silvery hair and everything. Villages near here met with a pretty terrible fate. They begged the armies to spare their fields. The only one who listened was one of House Wolfort's bannermen. No one was surprised, big war hero that he was. But by the time we got here, the Jacks had been all but exterminated. He was digging graves for the dead, enemy and all. A hero and a gentleman he was. Names on the tip of my tongue.
Benedict.
Aye, that was it.
Yeah.
Do you know the man? I'd like you to pass on my gratitude, if you do.
Thanks for showing me the way.
Your coin's all the thanks I require. If that's all you'll be needing me for, I'll leave you to it.
So she was part of this Jax clan. They were killed during the war.
You make a poor stalker.
Ain't exactly what I'm built for.
You fought in the battle here, didn't you?
Benedict swore me to secrecy. But suppose it ain't break an oath if you already know. Oh, but first I ought to tell you. You've the right to the truth. And those ain't my words. They're his. That's why he never tried to stop you from finding out about your parents.
You know of their fate?
We drove the enemy up the cliff top. Cornered him there. The same instant we cut their leader down, a babe cried out in the distance. In the hideout, we found you, all swaddled up. A letter pinned to you with that same clasp on your chest.
Live strong, Anna. Stronger than any. I see now.
Your family died at our hands.
Oh, damn.
If it's vengeance you want, you can take it out on me.
That doesn't sound like the Eredor I know. Do you think so little of me? To assume I would forsake my friend?
Yeah.
Bloody my hands with revenge.
And then Benedict raised Anna.
I know the truth at last.
Is it, Anna? Or are you forcing it to be?
Don't be a fool. Benedict is the one who raised me. If I ever want for a father, I know where to find him. And when we've won this war, I shall make sure he understands that.
Oh. Well, that's a sweet one. Yeah, let's do it. Within the woods, a man bids farewell to his Rosellan companions. In his hand, he clutches a familiar spear. I only know one character who wore yellow and had long gray hair. Yeah!
Must you go, sir?
I regret to say I must. I have been idle for long enough. But know this. I shall forever be indebted to the Roselle. I know not why fate delivered my battered body to the shores of your village.
If you don't see a body,
but
they
I
ain't dead.
am fortunate that it did. I owe my life to your kindness. Thank you.
You'll have no doubt with us. We only did what was right. But where will you go? Safety is a luxury few are afforded these days.
The war rages still, and so long as it does, I must fight with every inch of my being to end it.
A single man can't fix this tangled mess of a world.
Ah, but I am not alone. Every moment my allies risk life and limb without me is a moment I owe them for their bravery. I must rejoin them at once.
I see there's no convincing you otherwise. Very well.
Mm-hmm.
But we expect to hear news of your victory soon.
I sense the world is on the cusp of great change. Change for the better. When it comes, let us celebrate its arrival together.
All right.
Well met, friends. I require passage to see Lord Serenoa.
And who are you? If you want an audience, you'll have to wait behind the rest.
Wait. That cape, it can't be.
Yeah.
You're Sir Maxwell. My lord, Sir Maxwell has returned.
My apologies for my abrupt departure, my lord. Full glad am I to see you have managed without me.
Sir Maxwell, you're alive.
Aye, and none the worse for wear, I hope. It seems fate would have me take up my spear once more.
Cool.
Where have you been? We all feared the worst.
Avlora's fell blow cast me into the river, and its cold embrace washed away my memories, along with my pride. I awoke in a village of kind-hearted folk. I might have stayed there, blissful in ignorance, had news of your exploits not
and
reached
he even
them.
Reawakened and reminded.
It was then that old memories stirred, prideful memories, painful memories. My purpose became clear. I must end this war or perish in the attempt. I hope that I have not come too late to make a difference.
Of course not. We would be honored to have you fight by our side. I only hope you can say the same for us, Dawnspear.
Dope. The Dawnspear's back, baby. The real one. Roland's instructor and the finest lancer in Glenbrook. Specializes in mid-range attacks, possesses multiple powerful abilities. I want to check this out. Silver and Electrum are what I need. Oh, I never refilled my... I should have done that. I should have refilled my money a bit more. There we go. Improves his weapon damage. Speed. Accuracy. So my elites are now Serenoa, Hewitt, and Eridor. He's already a veteran, good. After my battle with General Flora, I fell into a river. I was content knowing Roland had been saved, but after returning from the Ring of Death, I realized I had been given a second chance, and I wished to use that chance to bring a swift end to all the bloodshed. If only I got him sooner, I would have liked to see him rematch him against Avlora. Avlora's still out there. She hasn't been confirmed yet either. This is Groma's second story.
Might I sit here for a bit?
If you don't mind the company of this old maid, you're more than welcome. Well now,
Shall we have ourselves a little chat to pass the time?
By all means. I would like nothing more than to hear of your exploits in the Salt Iron War. I have read much of your surpassing prowess on the battlefield, but would be honored to learn more in your own words.
Oh, child. That was so many, many years ago. How many enemies did I fell on the battlefield? I long since lost count. You and others may call them exploits. The truth is, I was nothing more than a skilled dealer of death.
The Iron Fist.
You sound as if you regret it.
Against fellow soldiers and warriors like myself? No, that is simply the way of war. But my acts also brought suffering to those who did not deserve it. The Roselle, for example.
The Roselle? How so?
I was leading a siege on the citadel of the Sands in Hyzant, not far from the source. The Hyzantian commander was a worthy foe. The battle drew on, and we were losing men and resources with little to show for it. Seeking to end the battle quickly, I chose to raise the fort with wildfire, and so it fell. All too late did I learn that its jails were filled with Roselle, captured slaves who had fled servitude at the lake.
But you did not know they were there. You can hardly blame yourself for their fate.
Do you think the Roselle who roasted to death would say the same? What of their families?
You cannot forgive yourself for this.
And why should I? Because my countrymen sing of me as a hero? To this day, visions of charred bodies lying in the rubble haunt me. Lumps of burnt flesh that were once men and women who wished only for their freedom. At first, I tried to forget.
Damn.
But the weight of my sins was too heavy to bear. And so I abandoned everything and left my home behind. Fortunately, I had already trained a protege to follow in my place.
And ever since then, you've wandered the realm alone?
Yes. But no matter how
Do we
far
know who
I traveled,
her
I could not escape
replacement
my regret.
was?
And now, Norzelia finds itself embroiled in another bloody struggle. The horrors of the past come anew. If fighting is all I am good for, then the least I can do is fight for peace. It may not atone for the death and suffering I have wrought, but at least it may save others from the same.
Alright.
I'm sorry. It was not my intention to make you relive such painful memories.
Worry not, lass. Truth be told, it's something I've been hoping to get off my chest for a while now. But this old maid's rambled on long enough, I reckon.
Damn. Groma has a dark past. I mean, Eridor and Benedict did bad stuff during war, but like... Damn. King Roland. This is where we...
Roland, what are you doing out here?
There's hardly a better place to become lost in one's thoughts. Don't you agree?
This is where
I
Triss and
suppose.
Travis found the
However,
fake dead Roland.
If aught weighs on your mind, it may serve you better to turn to a friend.
Then let me ask, do you believe me too immature for my station?
Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact.
But the other nobles loved to gossip of my disinterest in politics and intrigue, and mocked my love of hawking.
You said it yourself. Gossip and sniping, nothing more. Pay no mind to nobles and their petty judgments. The people who matter, your subjects, hold you dearly in their hearts. Stories abound of their love for you.
Do they, though? Do they really hold a deep love for me in their hearts?
Hey, go peddle your junk somewhere else.
And why would I do that, my good sir? I see no reason to forego such a bustling avenue simply to please a stranger.
A stranger? You're posted in front of my damn shop. You're stealing my customers from right under my nose.
Oh, I am? I'm not sure your lack of customers could be blamed on me. Surely the proprietor bears some responsibility.
Alright, itinerant merchant. You're being a bit of a...
What bickering is this?
None of your business, whelp. No.
Prince Roland.
A prince, you say?
A distinguished gentleman such as yourself must be mortified to have your customers bear witness to this childish bickering.
I'm sorry.
And you, merchant. If you mean to trade in Glenbrook, I trust you have procured the proper licenses and approvals.
Well, the process takes some days.
Then your business shall have to wait some days, it seems. Shall I?
No, there'll be no need of that, Highness.
I would have said, I'll waive the
Thank you,
requirement.
Prince Roland. Come visit any time, and I'll let you have your pick of my wares.
Aw. Roland's a good dude to his people.
Your place has always been with your people. You could walk down the main avenue and settle disputes with a single word.
Don't tell me you were watching. They were petty arguments, nothing more.
As petty as they might have been, you were happy to do it.
But it wasn't because I was wise that I solved their problems. It was my name and status that let my words wait. How do you imagine a kingdom with not a single dissatisfied soul would look?
I don't think such a kingdom exists.
That's a difficult thing to imagine.
Indeed. I suppose the best one can hope for is to do what we can, while we can.
Well, we can start envisioning such a nation. That one day we might build it. Together.
I like the sound of that. No doubt the answers we seek lie ahead. So long as we stay honest with ourselves. And so long as we work together. You and I, Serenoa.
I like this. Good bromance.
You! Just what was in that swill you sold me?
Ah, my good sir. Don't you look to be in a fit of pique? But what does it have to do with Lionel?
Don't play coy with me! That was no secret elixir you sold me. An elderly nobleman bought the entire batch, and all he got for his troubles was a whole day atop his chamber pot!
Ah, perhaps the tonic's invigorating effects were too potent for a man of such venerable age. While Lionel is sure his digestive system has been duly cleansed, methinks a smaller dosage should suffice next time.
Digestive system? Dosage? You said that medicine granted eternal life!
Lionel recalls saying nothing of the sort. We did converse about rumors of such an elixir existing prior to the transaction, but that was all. If you harbor any doubts, pray consult the bill of sale. Rest assured that any misunderstanding stems from your own negligence.
For all the good it'll do me now, I might as well wipe my ass with it.
My friend, a merchant's seal is his word.
You two-faced charlatan!
Two-faced? Has your own coin purse not grown mysteriously fat, despite the heavy taxes on salt?
I think I see... Oh, my camera's in the way. No, it's not. I think I see Anna right at the top, right next to that chimney.
I dare say more so
right
than
above the
market
word what?
prices would conceivably allow. One wonders.
Right here.
What is the punishment in Hyzanth for those who do business outside the purview of the state?
You can't threaten me!
Oh!
Yeah. Churro chop.
Seems you needed protection after all.
Shut up! Lionel had the matter well under control. Did you kill him?
He's just unconscious. Killing him would only attract unwanted attention.
Nevertheless, he gave Lionel quite a fright. That knock on his head couldn't have been good for the fool's health.
The only fool here is you. Using the name of House Wolfort to swindle others? How long did you think this charade would last? I'll give you one chance to stop, or else you'll end up next to him in the dirt.
Lionel will have you know he has friends in high places. Yes.
And I'll stab you.
In fact that yes, Lionel now sees the error of his ways. His thinking so far has been positively unambitious. It is Lionel who holds the purse strings of House Wolfort, and it is he who must see to it that said purse is overflowing with riches. He has been a fool. Only a fool would squander his talents with
there
such
you go.
petty deceits. But
be a banker,
Lionel does
Lionel.
not lose heart easily. No. He shall redouble his efforts.
There you go.
For such is his burden, the burden of a loyal servant tasked with guiding his house to boundless fortune. Ha ha! Let us begin our new work post-haste.
I feel like Lionel did not learn a lesson here.
That took a turn
My
for the
camera keeps
unexpected.
freezing.
What am I supposed to do with him?
What is going on with my camera? As long as the game doesn't freeze, I guess I'm okay.
Knock him senseless and drag him back to the castle? It may come to that.
Anna's on babysitting duty. I unlocked another Groma. This is Corrington's third.
What's so urgent you can't let a man sleep?
Nothing less than the completion of my groundbreaking research, Eridor.
Oh. Well now, that is something.
Indeed it is. I've managed to thermodynamically stabilize the quasi-liquid film forming on the surface of the...
Yes, I've heard all that. Now tell it to me in words a man can understand.
Right. Well, in layman's terms, I have created ice that never melts.
See how simple... Did you say ice that never melts?
Never melts.
That's mighty impressive and all, but what actual good does that do anyone?
My dear, sweet, simple Eridor. We can use my creation to forge weapons with no need for iron.
Sounds useful, if it works as you say. But how's the durability?
Silly soldier. Do you take me for a fool? Of course I tested their durability. A prototype shall arrive shortly. For better or worse, you're the most experienced soldier I know.
That sounds big and important.
Okay.
What news? Surely it's finished by now.
Afraid not. I come bearing unfortunate news from the smithy. It seemed plenty sturdy at first, but shattered the moment he took a hammer to it. He says it has a long way to go before it can be used in place of iron, I'm afraid.
Preposterous! My calculations were impeccable. Surely I have not forsaken my homeland in pursuit of a fool's errand.
A fool's
That's
around?
all a bit dramatic, isn't it? You can't have a breakthrough without breaking a couple of ice blades. You know what'd wash away all that pain? A nut.
Yeah, ice cubes that never melt.
Groundbreaking indeed. This invention of yours could still take the world by storm.
And I reckon the army'd have use for it as well. It'd keep our rations from going off. Weapons be damned.
Drinks that never go bad, prolong the rations for...
The fact remains that my calculations were in error. So forgive me my reluctance to.
Less sulking, more drinking. You succeeded, haven't you? Right then, this'll be my treat. And I won't be turning in till you do.
Very well. Scientific breakthroughs never come easily, I suppose. Perhaps my next experiment shall be seeing how many rounds my everlasting ice can chill. Right then, to the encampment with us. 'Tis time for a drink or three.
All right, Quarantine.
That's the spirit. Just promise me I won't have to haul your drunken ass home this time.
So he's created everlasting ice and become a party boy. Hasabara.
Go on, have another glass. I'm offering top shelf drink for bottom shelf prices tonight. No need to fret over your coin purses.
Woo!
See?
Give me a mega pint.
This is why we keep coming back. Nobody treats us better than our Hasabara.
Quite the crowd tonight, eh? Good to see it.
All thanks to you for supplying me with that mead.
Thanks to my good fortune, you mean? I got it for so cheap on account of the batch not measuring quite up to the brewer's usual standards.
Still, look at how happy it's made them. There's nothing I love more than seeing my tavern full to bursting like this.
It's nothing, honest.
Ah, and just like that, they've nearly drank me dry. Might have to close up early tonight.
Celebrating something, Hasabara. Whatever it is, we'll drink to that.
I wish I could. Seems the barrels have run dry tonight.
Run dry? You've enough for these drunkards? You can't spare a drop for those of us who are risking our lives for you on the battlefield? Hey, who are you calling a drunkard?
Don't you fools go spoiling the one spot of happiness we've had in a long while.
Enough! My tavern's a place for forgetting troubles, not stirring them up. You do well not to look down your noses at the very people you've sworn an oath to protect. You want respect? Go out there and earn it by ending the war. Then there'll be drink aplenty to go around.
You tell him, Hasabara.
You lot aren't blameless either, you know. These soldiers do put their
Yeah, don't be
lives
little
on the
shits
line
to them.
protect yours. They get enough grief on the battlefield without you giving it to them off it.
Terrible. ... Double
I'm
dot
sorry.
dot.
I don't know what came over me.
No, I shouldn't have let my temper flare.
Look, there's still some drink left here. How's about you raise a glass together?
Yeah, you can have some of ours, too.
Well, don't mind if I do.
Level head you've got on your shoulders there, Hasabara.
It helped that you pitched in when you did.
Ah, now that hits the spot.
Doesn't it? Here, I'll pour you another.
I thought we were out. I thought it was the whole... I don't know.
See, now this is what I live for. Giving people a place they can come together and leave the worries of the world behind for a while. Somehow, I know this is what Theo would have wanted me to do.
Get people wasted.
If only I could raise a glass with him.
Aye, I reckon he'd be proud.
Oh.
You've made a spot of sunshine for people who don't get much of it these days. People like me.
What with business booming again, it looks like I'm going to have my hands full for a while. Don't you worry for your mama, Theo.
Oh.
As long as there's ale to be poured and smiles on her customers' faces.
So she lost him to war, and now she's created a place of peace in the middle of wartime. That's sweet. Archibald. I think I've done 2 of his, so this should be his last one.
Who in their right mind sends an old man on a scouting mission? Oh, goddess take me. I can't wait to retire. Of course, I can't very well do so until the war is over.
What will you do once it is? ...
I can't say I have any plans in particular. But there is one regret I'd like to remedy. I'd like to find my first love.
Aw.
I still dream of her. Even all these years later.
Huh.
She was the general of the Frosty forces during the siege of the Citadel of the Sands. The turning point of the Salt Iron War, that was. I never learned her name. We were enemies, yes, but it was clear from the battle we waged how much we admired one another. She caught a beautiful figure on the battlefield. Her every movement was majestic. More than anything, she was a fearsome warrior.
We did recently get joined by an Frosty general, and in a very recent cutscene, we learned that she led the battle at the Citadel of the Sands.
Truly.
And he was Hyzantian, that's
None
right.
in the world like her. I wonder what might have been had we met in a tavern instead of as enemies.
Is he into Groma?
I hope you can find her then.
As do I.
Well, looky here. Easy. Let's get them before they wise up.
There. He saw us?
Well, we're too far away. Inhumanly possible.
Monster!
He's got dark vision.
How did you sense those bandits from such a distance?
Rats like that will never get the better of me. Until this war is over, I've only begun to fight.
I can see
he ain't
you
giving
mean
up.
that.
He ain't retiring yet.
Ah, that's it. I know what I'm going to do when we're done fighting. I'll travel the land till I find the Frosty general who caught my eye. It's strange, but I sense her presence wherever I go. Might be she's closer than I think. If that's the case, I'd better do what I can to end this war, and fast. Time to work twice as hard for an early retirement.
Well, now I gotta go do Groma's third story. 100%. And she comes across to Roselle.
You there! This is no place for strangers. Be gone from here.
So, the rumors were true.
From Hyzant, are you? I'll be damned if I go back to your stinking salt pit. It's been 30 years. We want only to live in peace.
30 years. Were you at the Citadel of the Sands during the war, perchance?
I was. I was but a child at the time. We had fled from servitude, but the army quickly tracked us down.
So some did, sir. Please, forgive.
What got into you all of a sudden?
Long ago, I served as General of Esfrost. It was I who razed the Citadel to the ground and burned your countrymen alive. Words of apology will not even begin to atone for my deeds.
Archibald has this.
Yet I
Hey,
give them anyway.
I remember this war so fondly. I
am
remember this lady that I
sorry.
fought in the war. It was great. Meanwhile, she's like, this was the worst thing of my life.
Knowing the danger, you came all the way out here to say that?
I had to know if any of you lived.
Raise your head. It is true that I lost my father when we fled servitude at the source. My people still bear the wounds from that war. Wounds that may never heal, but not one of us perished in the flames that day.
What?
What did you say?
It is true that we were being kept prisoner in the Citadel jails that day, but we were set free before the fire spread. To this day, I can scarce believe it. But the commander himself personally gave the order and worked together with our leader to see that we were ushered to safety.
A general of Hyzant freed you?
To this day, I still remember his word. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the
Archibald.
conditions of their birth. Who is to say what was in his heart? Many of my people lived together in villages. Others, like my family and I, have chosen to live on our own.
None of you died at the Citadel then.
But it is, and I'm living proof.
I dared not dream.
There's no need for tea.
To think there was such a compassionate soul in Hyzan's rank. If this man still lives, I would express my gratitude to him in...
As would I. Sadly, I do not even remember his name.
At any rate, I feel as if a great burden has been lifted. And yet
It's
my
100%
true battle
Archibald.
has only begun. And I will not rest until this world is one where people need no longer suffer the horrors of war.
A bit idealistic, no? I reckon that only bloodier days are ahead.
I know this better than anyone, boy. At long last, my conscience is clear.
All right.
And I fight with newfound purpose for the...
Clear conscience. New purpose. I really like that. That was sweet. 10 out of 10. I love old people persevering in the face of struggles. That's one trope that gets me every time.
Oh, however will we carry on?
Where's our house, Mama?
Oh my god.
They're just like me.
Piccoletta.
They lost everything. They're sad and hurting and don't know what to do. Sitting there all alone, I thought I'd never smile again. But that's when you and the others found me. You told me I threw my ball so well. Hearing that made me so happy. I felt warm inside again. I realized I wasn't alone in the world. And now it's my turn to do the same.
So you're gonna entertain them?
Wow! Look, Mama! She's amazing!
What are you doing, miss?
I'm juggling!
It's incredible! I wish I could do that too.
Me too!
Well then, why don't I teach you?
Piccoletta is just like a troop leader. She brought
Aw.
joy to those children. She turned her sadness into a smile to cheer up others. That child can be a ray of light, warming the hearts of those bereft of hope.
Come one, come all! Behold, Piccoletta's Circus! The greatest show in all the land!
Oh. Sweet. Very cute. Izana.
Tell me, why did you bring me all the way out here? Was something unclear in my explanation? Well, truth be told, I was clutching to the hawk for dear life. I could not make out a single word of what you said. Well, then perhaps it's best to simply show you. What? Who? Oh, it can't be.
Izana, my love.
Oh?
I'm overjoyed to see you unharmed.
You're alive. Where have you been? I looked for you. I looked.
I caused you worry, and for that I am truly sorry. I went to meet you, but on the way realized that you were being followed by Hyzant's watchdog. I threw myself at them to serve as a distraction. You managed to escape, I see, so my efforts were not in vain.
You fool. You should not have worried about me. What did they... What's wrong? Are you wounded?
The goddess of salt has scant mercy for those who have renounced her. The marks her scorn left remind me of their presence on cold nights like this. The night I escaped, I fled to my home. However, I returned to naught but ashes. So I fled further, deep into the mountains. There I found refuge with a kindly old woman, where I've lived ever since. Until now, that is.
You asked me for my assistance, and I am as good as my word. I hope my efforts did not disappoint. I expect you to.
My right knee. I was more reckless in my youth, my late teens, early 20s. I leapt from like a 12-foot stack of pallets.
Here explained to me how you've come to be in their service.
Busted my right knee, and when it's very cold and very humid, my right knee acts up.
Say no more. Do not worry, my love. Leave everything to me. I shall bring this war to an end, so that no more innocent sacrifices are made upon the altar of faith.
Good job.
But for now, let me spend this night by your side.
Aw, that's sweet. Almost there. Yens.
This place was host to a battle not long ago, wasn't it?
We have come here to help. Let us offer what relief we can.
I never imagined the war would spiral this out of hand. Before the fighting started, all I cared about was becoming the realm's greatest blacksmith. I dreamed of forging the perfect weapon, a testament to strength. But what is strength, truly?
This is the same exact location where we just saw Piccoletta entertaining children, and they said their houses were destroyed, so that tracks. ...
Of late, I have pondered much on that question.
And have you arrived at an answer?
Well...
There they are! Thanks for the sweets you gave us. Hey,
those are the same children.
Very well. What shall we play? Apologies, Jens. You may return. You needn't wait for me.
Come on!
A lord, yet he still plays games with the children.
I believe I may have found my answer, Lord Serenoa. Courage. Kindness. Warmth that kindles a smile upon a child's face. The fortitude to keep fighting. Through it all, your heart remains unbent and unbroken. That is what will end this war. You, my lord, and the unmatched weapons you carry within you.
Hey, you should play with us.
If you insist, here I come.
Alright, so integrity is more important than weapons. Go figure.
At it again, eh? You know, even the Dawn Spear set down his weapon on occasion.
We are at war. I cannot hope to end it by being idle.
Spoken like a true member of the Kingsguard. You lot were always too serious for my tastes.
We were not serious enough. Where is the king we were meant to protect now? What will become of his kingdom?
Dead.
King Regna and Crown Prince Franny are no more. Only Roland and Cordelia remain. When I think of how lonely my charge must feel, I almost feel smothered by the guilt.
If he's lonely, he hides it well. Could be that losing his princely...
And who are you to speak on his
shoulders.
feelings? His father ever doted on Franny. He knew precious few moments of his mother's love before she passed. Even so, he tried his utmost to never show weakness in front of his sister. He was there for her in the worst of times. There was never a place near the throne for him. Truth be told, Sir Maxwell was more of a father to him than anyone. I'd like to think I have been more than his guard. Oftentimes, I felt like his confidant.
Aw.
You and Flugy are constant companions.
As I said before, my prince, he is more than my companion. He is the truest friend I could ask for.
A true friend. I must admit, I envy your relationship.
My prince, I did not mean to.
Because he has no
to apologize for.
I mean, he has.
I simply find the idea of soaring the skies with a true friend to be somewhat romantic.
You could do the same with the proper training. If it pleases you, my prince, I would gladly teach you.
You would? Then I gladly accept.
Aw.
I trust you will go easy on me.
I can promise no such thing. You must become as ferocious as a hawk yourself if you wish to ride one. War broke out soon after that. My promise to teach him is yet unfulfilled. So I will train, I will fight, until the skies are no longer clouded by the fires of war. Only then can I rest. Only then can we fly free. ... Perhaps then, with the wind in our faces, we can forget our stations, our titles, if only just for one moment.
What was that last part?
Nothing.
Ooh.
Nothing at all.
Ooh.
Yes, it's back to training for me.
Huette likes Roland. Huette and Roland sitting on a bird. Kissin bird.
The hour has grown quite late.
That was my first scouting excursion in many moons. I'd forgotten how long they can take.
'Tis not often I get the chance to soar
Man.
over distant lands.
It's been over an hour of just these stories. I mean, they're sweet and good.
Sir Flanagan, over there!
If it's coin you want, it's yours, all of it. Please, just spare our lives.
We'll be taking the coin. But I'm afraid nobody would see my face can go on living.
Please, please have mercy.
I shall be your shield, my love. Run while you can.
They need us. Quickly.
I'm with you.
Let them go.
What's this now? Did someone call in the army? Wait. I'd recognize that grubby shield anywhere. You're Sir Flanagan. You're but a lowly coward would turn tail from the duchy. But I bet your shield would fetch good coin at auction.
And you shall have it, on the condition you do not lay a finger on these two.
Or better yet, I'll take your shield, your money, and your life. Kill the lot of them.
Bad idea. Dumb. Not because of Sir Flanagan, but because we got Huette here, who's just gonna snipe your ass.
That coward best us.
I'm reminded of that Doctor Who moment.
Oh, thank you, good sir. Thank you. We are forever in your debt.
Of the family of blood Doctor Who during the 10th Doctor. Like, why would this... We finally learned why this man, this god who had fought with gods and aliens and monsters, why he ran away from us. He was being kind because he didn't want to murder us. Was pretty much the...
I was only doing my duty.
Yeah, he was being kind because he didn't want to do all the murder.
No. The three of us couldn't be better, sir. All thanks to you.
3?
Oh.
She's with child, my lord.
Then I am relieved thrice over.
Pray, tell us your name. I would name the child after you, should it be a boy.
This is hardly a deed worthy of...
The man before you was Flanagan, an honorable soldier. Perhaps too much so for his own good.
Flanagan. A fine name indeed.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Sir Flanagan. You truly are the people's shield.
The People's Shield.
Ah.
I dare say it's a fitting epithet.
A new title.
I am hardly worthy of such a lofty title.
If only that were your choice to make. You didn't start calling yourself the Bloody Shield after all. Am I wrong, Sir Flanagan? Or should I say, the People's Shield?
I like it.
Then I suppose I must endeavor to live up to it. For my sake, and for that of the one who may bear my name.
Good job, Flanny. I still don't know Flanagan's bird's name. I know Flugy serves Huette. 2 to go. I want to end with Frederica's story.
It's become late. We'd best keep an eye out for bandits.
You have a warrior's intuition.
It takes no great intuition to see that this world is falling ever deeper into chaos. The reasons, however, remain elusive. Will we see our way safely through this darkness? I cannot say.
We have naught but our duty, and mine is to Prince Roland, whatever might become of House Wolford.
I find your perspective refreshing. Although it may be direct, you walk the path you've chosen with confidence.
Yeah. ...
On the other hand, I often feel that I'm fumbling. I had thought Gustadov to be a man of reason. But now I see that he will not hesitate to employ deceit to achieve his goals. In a manner of speaking, he and I are not so different. I, too, once hoped to have the influence to change the nation. At least, I told myself so. Really, all I wanted was to be free. And Frederica was simply a means to that end. As long as I had what I wanted, I had no great concern for what became of her.
Damn.
Sheila,
But this war has caused me to reconsider that. I realize that Frederica herself is worth caring for. She's not the sheltered princess I took her to be. Her wits are a match even for Benedict. She surprised me, and shamed me. I was wrong to underestimate her, to define her by her birth and station. She represents my greatest failures as a teacher, but also my greatest success. For she has... I see now there is no shame in serving another, and no shame in sacrificing my freedom for something greater. Oh, but perhaps I've shared overmuch. For some reason, I find it easy to talk with you.
Because she's similar?
the feeling is mutual. You are not so aloof as I thought. ...
Ah, I've just had a thought. When the war is behind us, I may very well open my own
school.
Of course, you would be welcome to join me. I would be master of the classroom, and you could be master of the training yard. We could teach our students the art of hawksmanship. Our riders would be first class. Ah, what should our school be named? You will come and teach with me, won't you?
Not half so aloof as I thought.
Ha 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 ha. So maybe that was earnest. Maybe it was a joke. And the final one.
Do you have a moment, Sheila?
Oh, Frederica. Is something the matter?
Well, I invited Serenoa to have dinner with me tonight.
That's wonderful. Are you cooking for him?
I am. I've been practicing with the book you gave me. I was hoping to finally show him what I've learned.
Then allow me to help. What are you making?
A warm soup full of meatballs. A hearty, meaty, savory stew to tickle the tongue and sate the stomach. Or so the book describes it.
That sounds like quite a mouthful.
The author is rather verbose, yes. Anyhow, I also want to make an appetizer. Might you be able to lend a hand?
Cooking is hardly my specialty, but say no more. I'd love to.
Yeah. Meatball soup.
Oh dear.
This is disappointing, to say the least.
And we're almost out of time. Serenoa will be back any minute.
Excuse me, Lady Frederica. Lord Serenoa has just sent word that he has been held up. He says there is a chance he may not even...
I see. Thank you for letting...
It sounds like your dinner may get postponed.
A blessing in disguise. It gives us time to cook this again and do it right this time.
Lord Serenoa may not even return tonight.
But there is a chance he might. And I refuse to disappoint him.
Aw.
Of course, Frederica. I shall do my very best to see this through with you.
I cannot thank you enough.
All right, attempt number 2.
The vegetables are done, though they are a far cry from perfect.
The meatballs are ready too. Now all we have to do is stew them.
Frederica, I'm back.
Oh,
it appears we've run out of time.
I was on my way here when something urgent came to my attention.
I had to play with
I
children.
apologize for returning so late.
I think it's the only
way
way I
we were
saw
supposed to have
Serenoa
dinner tonight.
I am just happy you're here. Besides, I am the one who should apologize. I wanted to cook you a meal, but failed terribly on my first attempt, so it isn't yet ready. I'm sorry, Serenoa. ...
Don't look so down, Frederica. I was delighted when you asked me to share a meal. Now that I'm back, why don't I help you with the food?
Serenoa.
Aw. What a sweet little story.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm overjoyed we could spend this time together.
As am I. I enjoyed cooking with you as well.
The time we spend together is very precious to me.
Good job, Sari.
I regret that my duties have been keeping us apart lately. But when I noticed the sky was even more beautiful than ever this night...
Just walks away. Oh.
I hurried home, hoping we could gaze upon its beauty together.
It's strange. When I was in Esfrost, I would look up at the same sky.
Got it.
But it felt so much colder there. The stars seemed as if frozen. They did not twinkle the way they do now that I am with you, Serenoa.
Frederica, promise me that you will always stay by my side. I need you. Now more than ever.
Of course, Serenoa. I wish to gaze up at the same sky.
10 out of 10.
Sit beneath the same moon, and walk the same path you do. Together. Forever and always.
10 out of 10. All right. I mean, this looks like we did the option to
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
flood the city.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps. But his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolfort messenger. Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolfort, bearing tidings of Lord Simon.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well, and he is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolfort so he can honor you himself.
Oh,
excellent.
I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolfort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village. To our shame, Castle Wolfort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
All right.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
So Lord Simon has reawakened. Bandits are attacking the Roselle.
A coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on, right?
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith. Besides which, it is the royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be. And right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now, I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolfort will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory, so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That is my command.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Huette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzand, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriot and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
Hyzant makes a strategic move. Okay, so
House Wolfort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City.
Tenebrous.
And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Frosty forces in killing Thalys and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
What are you two plotting?
See Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt. Though, this could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Ha! Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzellian mines to us. The paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
But it might be filled with salt.
The Grand Norzelian Mines. The spark that lit the flame of Esfrost's aggression.
The spark that lit the flame of Esfrost's aggression.
But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need?
Because it's a salt source.
I should have Milo look into the matter.
Minister Idor?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Esfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the crown.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Esfrost, Glenbrook. They will both be ours before long.
All right. Idor and Tenebris are plotting. The paths before Wolfort diverge, meaning they will have to go their separate ways for the first time. Which way will Serenoa take? Alright, so it's... the Rosellan village is one.
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction. There is also happy word from Castle Wolfort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rosellan village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
What is it?
I suspect Patriot and his royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not...
The matter warrants investigating at the very least. And I would ask for Wolfort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolfort as my Lord Father requests. 2. Defend the Rosellan village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolfort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolfort, Lord Serenoa, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rosellan village. Let me go to its defense.
So we know we're going to split up here according to that definition.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolfort soldiers with me, of course. Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of
the
me.
bandits.
But I am not as
Is it
weak
Trish and Travis?
I am
Trish and
stronger,
Travis.
Enough that I shall bring no
Travis.
dishonor to House Wolfort's name.
Good.
My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters. Separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take.
Bring the scales of conviction.
So Frederica is going to the Roselle. Roland is staying here. Benedict is going back to Wolfort. Cannot help but feel restless. We reclaim the Crown City and have already begun restoration efforts. There should be no question as to what needs to be done here, and yet something has me unsettled. He wants to go back. Benedict's already chosen a path.
Lord Saranoa.
Finally managed to rout Frost, but it seems the busy days are not yet over. She should listen no matter what I suggest.
Listen, lad.
Where do you think we should go from here? Should listen to reason. My stats are high enough that I could convince anyone of anything. The rumors of the bandits are true, and Jerome and the others might need danger. I need to go to the village to see how my people are faring.
Ah, yes?
I see their shiny over here. I'm gonna stay here, don't worry about me. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Go outside. This is our first chance to really get to explore the city, and it's been destroyed. Oh, Milo. Deeply fascinated, a lord turned saint who won back his kingdom from his frosty clutches and saw the prince back to his throne. I can only wonder how many people you will welcome you as a hero home. Pray allow me to accompany you, my lord. If I go to Wolfort, Milo will be coming with me. So Milo wants to join me if I go home on that journey. Salt reserves are running low. Oh dear. We must restore trade with Hyzand as soon as possible. As one of the Saintly Seven, is there anything you can do? You needn't worry so much. The consortium and merchants are already on the move. If we rush negotiations, we may be taken advantage of. We must have King Roland's permission before we act. We will share a portion of Wolfort's stores with the Crown City. To try and reaffirm the consortium, but that's also the royalists, right? That seems like utility. Don't rush. Let's think this out. This seems to like prop up King Roland, and seems to be the moral option. We'll share. So let's do that. Thank you, sir. The people will be grateful, but if you wouldn't mind, can you please keep this a secret from His Majesty? At ease. It's for the sake of the kingdom. I know Roland wouldn't mind in the least. I heard some bandits are spotted on the outskirts of the Rosellan village. Rumor has it they're led by a father-daughter duo. Travis and Trish. Family banditry. Heard great things. You were appointed as one of the saintly seven and demonstrated your prowess as lord of a high house. How would the royalists address you from now on? Saint, minister, or lord? We were downright cowards under Esfrost's rule, but hearing the stories of Wolford's courage and reclaiming the capital inspired us to do better. Good! Clean your shit up. My god, this area is truly massive. Oh, there's a shiny. Superior timber, dope. Superior stone. Can we go back here too? Amulet of Immunity. Grants immunity to all status ailments. That's too good. Yeah. That's the one that Avlora used, the Amulet of Immunity that made her immune to friggin' everything. We Royalists, along with Minister Patriot himself, have been helping to rebuild. We must reverse all the changes that Esfrost has wrought to see the crown's way back to its former glory. I know there are many problems facing the kingdom, but as Royalists are more than happy to take care of everything. Let's serve Rome together. Please see the domestic affairs and reassure the people that everything will be okay. Let's serve Roland. You're serving Roland. We'd be honored. Is there anything House Wolford needs? Simply say the word. Just between you and me, us Royalists have ways of getting our hands on certain things. I bet, you scumbag. A new king sits upon the throne now. Things were not as easy. I shall take your words to heart. Okay. To think Roland was alive, you and your house has my utmost respect for helping him reclaim the capital. My allegiance to the royal family shall not waver, not now or ever. I think this is one of the for you, my heart. All right. I think this is where we are. All right. I think this might be one of the branching ones. Yeah, apparently there are... If there were, like, 2 or 3 decisions that I could make to accidentally get the good ending, I could probably luck my way into it. I think they said there were, like, 7 or 8 that I have to make to get the good ending. So I think this was one of them. I think. Let's very slowly scroll down so we don't get spoilers. Chapter 7, protect or surrender Roland. I protected Roland. Chapter 9, transport the salt. We did that. 10, reveal Roland's identity. Did that. And 11, defend the Roselle. We did that. Because I was told I was following the path well, so let's see. Okay, which one of these would be? Chapter 15, yeah. That's the one I was leaning towards. Okay. So who should I convince? Let's...
Lord Saranoa.
Finally managed to rout the frosty forces from the capital. But it seems busy days are not yet over. Now we must decide which issue requires our attention. I wish to return home. You return to Wolfort? My father has finally opened his eyes. I would see his condition for myself. Now's the time for Roland shows people what he is capable of, and we are but a hindrance. If we go to Wolfort, Milo is most likely to follow. It's best to keep an eye on her. Yeah, that one.
Certainly.
There's a chance Milo has been given orders by Hyzon to investigate the Wolfort domain, and we mustn't leave her to her own devices. Eridor. The Crown City's finally back in Glenbrook's hands. Our work is far from over.
Listen, lad.
Where should we go from here? I'll return home. If Roland and I both investigate, we're bound to draw people's attention. The Royalists included. You two won't be doing any sneaking together, that's for sure. And if you aren't careful, you might make yourself a few enemies in the process. Leave it in King Roland's hands for now.
And further.
To be honest, I think going back to Wolford is what's best for us right now. Alright, we could try Huette, let's see. I was sure to return home. Yeah, only faith in Roland. I see. So you believe he must be the one to bring the Royalists justice and regain the people's trust? Even so, I can see the dissent among the citizens. But as you said, it must be necessary to leave things entirely in their hands and allow him to establish a position as king.
Okay. Ah, yes?
I am one of the 7 now. I do not think they mean us any harm, but it would be wise for us not to let our guard down. We are still unbelievers. It would serve us well to be vigilant of the Holy Seat's movements, and having Milo close might shed some light on their intentions.
I require some time to think.
I understand your concerns for home, my lord. If that were our only issue, the decision would be an easy one, alas. Voting time!
It is time to cast our votes. We have 3 options before us. Return to the Wolfort domain, depart to the Rosellan village, or stay in the capital. Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Nice. Changed one person's opinion for the moral.
You have my vote.
I have faith in you.
You won me over.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
So I had enough convictions through my grinding to convince everyone now of whatever I want, basically.
The way forward is decided. We return to the Wolfort domain with Benedict and inform Father that we have reclaimed the capital.
Meanwhile, Frederica and some of our guards will go to the Rosellan village.
I must return to the Wolfort domain, to my father's side.
This is the chapter
Simon will be most pleased
there are
to see
multiple
you.
branches in the characters that I saw.
Of course. Fulfill your duty to your father. I shall see to things in the cabinet.
Where I could get 4 different characters. From what I understand, if I stay here is one. If I go back to Wolfort, that's another. If I go to the Rosellan village, and I believe if I go after protecting them, and if I go to the Rosellan village after turning them in, creates different choices. So, minimum, I need to play through this 4 times and get to this point 4 different times to get every character.
And I shall attend to the Rosellan village. Please give Lord Simo my best.
Oh, Lord Serenoa, you are returning home? What perfect timing. I was thinking of heading to the Wolfort domain myself. Might I accompany you?
Milo, how'd you sneak into the castle?
Oh, let's just say I have my ways.
Oh, to be a spy.
You might find the companionship of such a capable woman a boon on the road.
I know not what her aims are, my lord, but I do know she will be easier to watch by your side.
Indeed. All right, Milo, you may come. But you'll be put to work for the household. Understood?
Of course, my lord.
Then this is farewell for now. King Roland, Frederica, until our reunion in the capital.
Roland and Frederica have left the party. That's what I expected when they said the party is going to split. Alright, let's see. We're at about the 2-hour mark. So a banner's worth.
With the capital once more under their control, the members of House Wolfort disperse to the various corners of the domain. Roland, for his part, works to
investigating
rid
the Royalist
city of his
faction.
political enemies. Frederica repairs to the Rosellan village. Serenoa, Benedict, and the others, meanwhile, make a triumphant return to Castle Wolfort, where Lord Simon eagerly awaits their arrival.
Yep. When our paths part. So this is chapter 15, part 2.
Hark! The young rulers have returned.
Wow.
You're back! You're back! You made it!
Huzzah.
Show some respect, lad.
Mm-hmm.
They've driven Esfrost from our lands and brought the kingdom back from the brink. And one of them is no less than one of Hyzant's saintly 7.
Dare I say, an achievement greater than Lord Simon ending the Salt Iron War. Fills me with pride enough to think I'd done it myself.
Ha!
I'm sorry, Mr. Lord King.
Mr. Lord King.
You've done nothing wrong. Address me as you please.
No, Mr. Lord King Serenoa is good.
One and all for your efforts in seeing us through to victory.
Oh, you are too gracious.
As is the Hierophant, who saw fit to bless us with a boatload of salt.
The Hierophant, you say?
Wow! That's amazing!
Isn't it just? Bold is the nation that besmirches House Wolfort's honor now.
I reckon not even the king himself would speak ill of us now.
Course not. It was this lad what made that mask-wearing coward of a prince the king.
All hail House Wolford.
All hail Mr. Lord.
Lord King. That mask-wearing coward?
Serenoa is truly a man of the people.
And he's got the might to defend him. He's earned their trust.
And so he may as well be king. I must say I do appreciate a powerful man. Perhaps I should cast my lot in with the future rather than the past.
The cowardly prince they refer to is King Roland, no doubt.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
I pray that's all it is. Hyzant's overtures are most bold. They mean to lure us in.
And they gave us the salt to drive a wedge between us. But Milo was interested in it. It's like, oh, this could be interesting. All right, let me see. Svarog receives a summon from Gustadolf, however. Though the Saintly 7 praise House Wolford for their glorious victory, they must know they must be ever vigilant. Serenoa returns triumphant to Wolford. Alright, it's a good-looking crew. The Dawn Spear himself. I didn't realize his cape had the scales of conviction on it. That's cool. You two are right next to each other. Just talk to each other. Alright. I was tempted to keep going, but I realized that this is a 3-part chapter. And I spent over an hour watching the character stories. So, to make up, we already did a one stream that was a double chapter. I think it was, we did, what, it was like chapter 12 or 13 or 11 and 12 together. So we're going to split chapter 15 into 2 streams. I will be, if you're watching this on Twitch, I will be back to stream part 2 and part 3 on Wednesday. If you're watching this on YouTube, the video will be up next week, same as always. I'll probably be doing the same thing where I do a little bit of grinding right here. And I will be... I don't even think we need to, because we're in medias res. We're in the middle of this chapter. I don't even think we need to start and rewatch that scene. But I will remind us that I am the Mr. Lord King. But for now, thank you guys so much for joining me. Do the Twitch stuff. Do the YouTube stuff. You guys know what to do. Hollow Avarice. That's all we're going to do for tonight. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. and I will be seeing you until next time.